So now we got two of the most powerful sorcerers in the Marvel Universe going head to head. Scarlet Witch versus Loki. Who comes on top? Let's try to find out. The world knows Wanda Maximoff as the Scarlet Witch, a mutant with probability manipulation and reality warping abilities. Twin sister of Quicksilver, mother to Wiccan and Speed, and the ex-wife of the Vision, Wanda has taken on many roles throughout her life, but will forever be known for causing the decimation of mutant kind. Scarlet Witch's main power is able to manipulate and warp reality at will, which is granted to her by high evolutionary experimentation and further amplified by a demon way back at her birth. She's actually able to manipulate reality by manipulating a force known as chaos magic, which results in her hex bolts. These bolts destabilize probabilities by affecting energy fields and matter, ultimately inducing chaos. While she's stable and healthy, Wanda wields her powers with great skill and proficiency, and is even able to trigger and control multiple occurrences at once. She's blocked Thor's lightning, slowed down time, teleported herself and others, transformed War Machine's armor into pure iron, and wrapped a powerful monster in water and sent it flying away. Then, by manipulating probabilities, she's made machines explode, caused guns to jam, made it so people missed their attacks, and even caused an opponent's powers to stop. Then, while Wanda served as a conduit for Earth's life force, her powers are further amplified, although not always under her conscious control. In this state, her power is so great that she can alter the entire Earth's reality at will, and permanently shift the nature of all possible futures without even realizing that she had done it. It was here that Wanda created the House of M reality, and unleashed the infamous spell that eliminated most of the Earth's mutant population. Doctor Strange later said this spell was so complex and so strong that it had woven itself into reality in the world of magic itself, and to try and reverse it would cause all of reality to implode. However, recently Wanda said that given enough time and a strong power source, she could cast this spell again, suggesting that maybe she doesn't need to be a conduit for Earth's life force to display that level of power. Scarlet Witch is actually considered to be the Nexus being of Earth 616, which, according to the Watcher, are rare individual entities with the power to affect probabilities and thus the future, and actually serves as the focal point for that reality and a cornerstone for the multiverse. Being a Nexus being also suggests that she could be placed alongside other Nexus beings, like Jean Grey, Franklin Richards, and even Odin Borson. At the end of the day, Scarlet Witch is clearly exceptionally powerful. It's actually the only one who was able to hold her own and defeat the Phoenix Five and even Dark Phoenix Cyclops. And the queen of Loki. Loki is the Asgardian god of mischief and prince of lies, the adopted son of Odin, and typically the arch enemy of his brother Thor, as well as the adopted brother to former Guardians of the Galaxy, Angela. Loki has schemed against Thor and Asgard for ages, and his cosmic meddling led to the formation of the Avengers. Loki isn't really known to physically fight an opponent, but being an Asgardian and frost giant, he's definitely superhuman. He's strong at bringing down buildings with a punch, and actually can lift over 50 tons, is fast enough to dodge bullets even at Thor's hammer Mjolnir, and is durable to take attacks from Thor, Hulk, Silver Surfer, and even Surtur. He's also got an impressive healing factor, and can survive lethal blows, like he was able to just reattach his head after it had been cut off. But while Loki is physically impressive, and I think kinda underrated, the fact is that he usually doesn't get into a physical fight, and actually prefers not to, because Loki's whole thing is magic. In fact, he is the most skilled magician in all of Asgard, and is actually one of the most skilled magicians in all of the 9 realms. His magical abilities actually come from 2 different sources: his innate ability to manipulate Asgardian energies, and also his vast knowledge of sorcery. He's used his magic to hurt Silver Surfer, Apocalypse, and Surtur, take down Beta Ray Bill and the X-Men, turn Jane Foster's skin inside out, and turn Bor, Odin's father, into snow, and has shattered Doctor Strange's magical shields before. He's also completely dispelled Doctor Strange's attacks against him, can create magical shields or walls in order to protect him from attacks, and one time he turned a man's hand into glass just for touching him. Loki's also really skilled at using projections to trick his opponents, being able to trick Thor, trick Surtur, and even trick Odin himself. He's turned men into goats, clouds into dragons, and cars into ice cream. There really does seem to be no limit to what Loki can accomplish through magic. Loki is also incredibly intelligent, being second only to Odin in all of Asgard when comparing intelligence. He's also very persuasive and cunning, being able to rule worlds and conquer alien civilizations. But he's obsessed with tormenting Thor, and so he's simply restricted himself to the Earth. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, I really got into the idea of this fight about a month ago, when Tom Hiddleston and Elizabeth Olsen were asked who would win in a fight between their two characters. And that got me thinking, who really would win between these two characters? And I'm not talking about the MC versions as much, because that isn't as interesting to me. I'm talking about the comics, the Earth 616. Who wins then? Well, physically speaking, Loki has got an obvious physical advantage. I mean, Wanda is basically just a human, while Loki is a god. He's regularly traded blows with Thor, and if he was able to get close enough to Scarlet Witch, then there's really no doubt in my mind that he could kill her with just his physical might. The problem is, he won't be able to get that close. No way. I mean, if she's blocked Thor and prevented him from hitting her with Mjolnir, then she can obviously prevent Loki from hitting her. No, this fight isn't going to be a physical showdown, but a magical one. Both of these characters are powerful magical users. But which one takes the cake? Well, Loki is much more the classical, stereotypical magician, as he's been able to use offensive and defensive magical spells, cast illusions, and even shapeshift. Wanda's powers are from chaos magic, and aren't even technically spells like Loki's, but hex bolts that can really do anything that she likes. However, in terms of magical versatility, gotta give the edge to Loki, namely because of his illusion casting and shapeshifting. He's also really smart and clever about how he uses his magic. For instance, he wasn't able to fight against Thor as himself, so he shapeshifted into a large snake, wolf, and eagle to be able to fight against Thor on a more even playing field. And he can even create clones to confuse Thor, or cast illusions and create clones to trick even Odin and Surtur. It's really possible that Loki could rely on his cunning and trickery here, creating illusions to make Wanda think she's doing something that she's not really doing, or fighting someone that's not really there. Then, while Scarlet Witch is distracted, Loki could take her out. All because he's more of the typical sorcerer and knows how to use his magical versatility in a fight. While versatility is important, so is just sheer power. And that's where Scarlet Witch has got him beat. Now, Loki shouldn't be underestimated, as he's been able to break through Doctor Strange's magical shields, and Strange has actually had difficulty stopping his attacks. But at the end of the day, Loki is a minor god of a small g. Wanda's powers partly come from and were amplified by Shithan, an elder god and archdemon. Shithan is the brother of Gaia, the mother goddess of Earth's pantheons, and is basically the great grand uncle of Loki. He's an elder god, and the Skyfather pantheons are spawns of those gods. I'm not saying that Scarlet Witch is as powerful as this guy, because she obviously isn't, but that is partly the source of her power. Then there's also the fact that Wanda's powers of probability manipulation and hex magic are especially powerful and potent against other magical users. For instance, she's disrupted the spells of Enchantress before. Morgan Le Fay sought her out to use her powers to warp reality, and she was even able to defeat Dormammu. In fact, Wanda's actually disrupted the spells of Loki himself before, using her hex bolts to cause his teleportation spell to misfire. Wanda is specifically able to go up against and take down magic users, and has beaten Loki before. She's done it before, she can do it again, especially now that she has more control over her powers. If Loki really wants to win, his best bet would be to use his powers of manipulation, messing with her mentally, so that she does something that works out in his favor. However, even though he can do that, and it is possible, at the same time, Wanda is kinda unstable. That makes her powers kinda unstable. If Loki as much as frightens or angers her in some way, that emotional reaction might cause a hex bolt that triggers a chaos wave and takes him out. You have to be very careful about how to deceive her. Probably either Quicksilver or Vision. But at the end of the day, I think Scarlet Witch is just too much for him. Her powers are specifically able to disrupt magic. Loki will have a very difficult time tricking her, and she's actually beaten him before. Scarlet Witch is winning this one. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. To sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just one every single weekday. Now, see you next time.